All right, good evening and welcome to Football in Vivo on Club Deportes, show number 15. We air every Monday at 10 p.m. on clubdeportes.com. Be sure to follow us on Twitter at Futbol Austin. That's Futbol Austin. Follow Club Deportes at Club Deportes. For all the latest and greatest sports news and commentary, be sure to visit clubdeportes.com. It is the favorite website of David Alvarez. I am your host, Eric McCoy, and I am joined by a man who's never been more excited for the Real Betis update. It is David Alvarez.
Yeah.
Welcome to the show, David.
Hey, thank you very much. Hey, that was nice.
I feel vindicated. The segment has been vindicated.
Everything green. But yeah, that was the prediction too, like a couple years ago, right?
It was they would qualify for the Champions League. I don't believe the Copa Del Rey was ever discussed.
No.
You take what you can get.
But
it's still working on the
championship is a championship.
Exactly. Trophy is a trophy.
Yes.
Real Betis.
All right, and I am also joined by a man who never wants to hear the term cup set again. It's Jorge Chavez.
Yes, it was bad. It was very, very bad because both my teams that I root for, one game after another, they lost.
So you're probably never going to San
I'm
Antonio
never going
again,
to San Antonio again.
Not a favorite town of Mr. Jorge's these days.
Yeah.
All right, but that's not all. As you can probably tell on the camera, we have a special guest with us this week. We have Austin FC radio production extraordinaire, Nacho Arroyo, with us here.
I like that title.
Extraordinaire. I feel like we can call you an extraordinaire. I hope that's okay.
I love that job title. I like it. When you ask me, I'm like, I don't know what it is. All I know is I help at the production, the radio production.
Well, you ought to let me do your resume because I'm going to build you up. I'm going to hype you up like crazy.
Need that. I appreciate that, man. Thank you, and thank you for having me here. I was just about like. I was taking pictures with Jorge. I was in the previous show with him, and I'm very happy to be here.
We're happy to have you here, and we're happy to have you wearing that Austin
representing
Aztex kit right there. They got the Umbro logo on there. Love it. Absolutely love that.
It's a long story. I love this story because I was very part of this story when it happened. Back in the time, I also was very intensively working with Austin Aztex in the radio production, the promotion, the marketing, and everything with them. So, we had dreams back in the times, dreams that are come true now with Austin FC. So I'm just excited that we have finally an MLS team in the city.
Absolutely. So how special is it for you, someone that's been there in the early days, those Austin Aztex days, to now see what it's become with Austin FC and see over 20,000 people just losing their minds week in, week out at Q2? Just how special is that for you?
I'm glad that you asked that question because when the Austin Aztex operation started and first, I knew about the team, and I went and talked to my GM at the radio station that I used to work there, Tim McCoy, and I told him, hey, we have to have this team in our station. It's got to be exclusive for us. There's no doubt about it. We're going to make it all the way. And then later on, once I start getting a little more familiar and having more conversations with the owner back in the time, like Phil Rollins, he's also the owner of the Stoke City in England. So that's why
they have the Stoke City kit right there.
So
I'm glad Tony Pulis was never named as the manager. That would have been good.
But there was some plans, in his mind to make it take it to the next level. He's the owner of a big team over there. So the plan included, why not build that stadium in the city? And so we did everything we could. We sweat a lot. We cried a lot. We went through difficult times because people were not just going to the stadium as he expected it. So, at the end of the day, there was a lack of reward, on the sales, tickets, and all that stuff. So, I remember, and I think now I can say it. Back in the time, I probably wouldn't be definitely not right to say it. But one time I sit with Phil Rollins, And I was so frustrated because things weren't going the way we wanted it. And told him, so what happened? What do you think? I mean, can the players see the effort that everybody's putting into this operation? Why can't they feel that? And he's like, Nacho, it's just like they're kids. Like kids that they have a job, like they were working on this hamburger restaurant, you know, and this is just a job for them. They don't really care much.
They don't really care about it.
And when he told me that, I kind of started like cooling off. I'm like, okay, hidden reality, how things are in reality, and I saw how that big opportunity kind of disappear or start fading down, and it was sad for me, you know. I'm a huge fan of soccer, and
you came to the right place.
so when I got the call from Alfredo Naim, he is part of the marketing team.
He's a good
for
guy.
Austin FC, very good guy. I worked with him several times when they brought some Mexican teams for exhibition games at the Round Rock Express. And he used to call me, hey, Nacho, guess what? I need an announcer for this term. Can you help me? And yeah, sure. I was always there for him. So, and I heard about the team, and I was looking at all the hype on social media since they announced it, when I saw the owners and then the plans for building the stadium. After what I went through with Austin Aztex, it's not like I didn't believe it really, but I was like, I've gone through this before.
You were afraid that it was going to fizzle out.
I hope there's not going to be a sad story ending. But when Alfredo called me, hey, I just don't know anybody else can help me with this, but you, I mean, I'm sure there's people, but luckily I had this friendship with him, and I'm like, hey, I need somebody that speaks fluent Spanish and help me with also oversee the production on the English side for the broadcast of the and radio for the games. I'm like, dude, sure, I'll do it. And he told me, hey, but this time there's budget. I'm like, great. Because every time he called me, sometimes he's like, Nacho, it's just there's no budget.
There's no, you can't
for being an announcer. Bro, I just want to be there, bro. I'll do it for free. Don't worry about it. So, yeah, I got the opportunity to see Guignac and other Chivas players running right in front of me when I was doing the announcing. So, as a soccer fan, to me, it was a great payoff. Long story short, it is a dream come true. Austin FC, and what I lived or what I went through with Austin Aztex back in the time, and I just kept it really, really deep into my heart and hope for one day to have an MLS soccer team in Austin, and here we are. Here we are. And
but what happened with Austin Aztex too? They were Austin Aztex 2.0.
Well, never went into that. I mean,
you were never involved with that?
No. They were going to, but back in the time I had a restaurant. I went into a restaurant venture. And,
a man of many talents.
Dave Markley, he came and looked for me, and he's like, hey, I know he offered me like, how could I help? And I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm in this venture right now. And I couldn't. Your heart
wasn't in it.
But I have a picture with the shirt that he bring me some stuff.
Yeah.
And I still have it there. I was gonna bring those, but this is the one I was.
That is close to your heart.
That is a great jersey.
So he called me, and at the end of the day, I went to a few meetings with them, but that was it. I couldn't be with them anymore. But that's basically.
So it was basically two versions of the same dream. One where you were more involved, and one where you brought in kind of. Also at the beginning, I guess, of this Austin FC journey. So as someone that, and I'll be totally honest, Austin Aztex never attracted me at all.
What was it?
It could have been that time. I was always interested in soccer.
I know the stadium was kind of the house park.
Maybe the name
was a bit of a.
No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't that at all.
They used several high school stadiums.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I think that was probably one of the issues.
That they didn't really have an established.
That's why
space.
it didn't necessarily attract.
Probably right. Because I had friends that would go to the games.
Well, you couldn't also make noise at House Park. like
There were no beer
And you like to make a lot of
sales.
noise.
You
when
couldn't
go
make,
to-
yeah,
you
you
like
couldn't
to
make
get-
noise. The neighborhood
Bring the
complained.
flag, wave the flag around, get the security over there. talking to
But at
you.
the in-house park did allow the ASD, the district did allow a section for beers selling rye in the corner.
Yeah, I remember
It was
that.
not part of the easement, so at the end it was there. So
Fortunately,
back
at
in the
Q2,
time.
you can throw your beer
Yeah, you can
anywhere
throw
you
your beer
want.
if you
want. Right, I
Yeah,
love it.
so-
but of course, those prices don't compare to the new price.
No,
No, probably. Hey, let's go ahead and talk a little Austin FC. Let's go ahead and
Yeah.
talk Austin FC 3, Vancouver Whitecaps 0. This was a pretty impressive match. We got the highlights right here. Jorge, you were there in the supporters section, just in amongst the people. What stood out to you about this match right here?
I think the calmness of the team. They didn't really look like.
I love this right here. Sorry,
that was
to
a
go
great
but
play.
Gallagher
Well, Gallagher
starting
got
that
that
Way
move.
on the other
Jersey.
side that I
And
didn't get to see it.
Ruti did the
Right.
the arrow.
Yeah, the arrow thing.
The first one.
Yeah, after they
the second one.
really didn't look in danger for really the whole game. They just looked comfortable.
I love the
think-
way they celebrate with the snake.
Yeah, with the snake thing.
So
yeah,
what do
we
you
gotta-
prefer, Nacho? Do you prefer the bow and arrow? Or do you prefer the snake celebration? Which one do you go for?
When Ruti does the bone arrow, I love it.
I love that's
by
my
himself.
favorite.
That's his
my
thing.
favorite.
That's his thing. Yeah.
But the fact that they get all together and do the snake thing, it's great.
Yeah, I would love to know how they came up with that.
I
But that
would
shows
doubt-
how important Gallagher is here, because Gallagher was in a forward position before and now is playing.
Do you think that? Do you think
was
that?
such a key?
I mean, we were kind of discussing a little bit before the show, but I mean, he's supplanting Komanic in that starting lineup. Do you think it's based on form, or do you think it's Komanic just needs a rest? What do you think it is?
I mean, I think both of them. I think they're doing a good job, even when Komanic comes in the second place. But this is like a classic, and Fagundes being so critical every time.
I love Fagundes on the left.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's doing a really good job.
I think he's a different player on the
Well,
left.
they play with a different rhythm that they play against San Antonio for sure.
Yeah,
Obviously, this is the best example of that
yeah,
nice
that Danny
run.
Pereira run.
Yeah, it's a nice, beautiful run, and
That
just
was a great.
look at that.
Yeah, that was. I mean, he. That's a guy that knows where the goalposts are.
He is
His
feeling
back was to
very,
the
very
pole.
confident
No,
at the moment. Very
found
confident.
it, and so
I mean, I think we need to see more Argentinian flags in the stadium. Because, come on, I've seen Costa Rica flag, Chilean flag, Colombian, but where are the Argentinian
Well,
fans?
there's been a Chilean flag. Do you see other Chilean flags besides the one you bring, David?
Well, I think I heard some people tried to replicate it one day.
Some people call me crazy, but I wouldn't doubt it. That if it will be like the last Argentinian player to be called for the national team or Argentina, I wouldn't doubt it would call it Ruti, because he's
Just
he's
because of the
got-
form that he's in.
Will you go Ruti? Oh yeah.
Do you think so?
No. Ruti's not even close.
I mean,
It's not even close for the CT. I mean, sorry,
Yeah,
Ruti, but it's just like
natural.
We have Lautaro.
Yeah.
Lautaro Martinez is una máquina, is a machine. There's no
Right.
comparison, but definitely this goal. I mean, it showed how important Druzy is.
He's
6
that-
goals.
that- yeah, that
6
goal-
goals. How many? So
I was hearing, and you probably heard it too, right? MVP chance
Yes.
at
Yeah.
Q2.
yes,
What do you guys think about that? Is that a legitimate?
he is a heartbeat of the team.
yeah, he does.
He's not only the leading scorer for the team. I think he's tied for the leading scorer in MLS.
No, he is the leading scorer in MLS.
And so
he's got 6. The next
he
highest
is the
spot.
focus of the team, so much so that's helped other players improve. Fagundes is a much better player with Urruti there.
Yeah.
We talked about it just before the show out in the parking lot about Danny Pereira. He's a much better player than he was last year. And for a second-year guy, for a young kid, he is playing lights out. And I have no doubt playing next to a
and
guy.
look at that
like-
Urruti did. That he stole. He took the ball away from the goalie.
Yeah,
He's confident.
He got it.
He's confident right now.
He is confident.
He almost
Yeah.
got a hat trick. So
So I liked what you were saying there, Jorge, just about the improvement that we've seen from someone like Danny Pereira from his first season to his next season. And in our parking lot conversation, I was, I believe we actually, sorry to cut myself off there, but I believe we might have We might have a guest
Oh, yeah.
calling in. I believe we should have Thomas Jones, the community sports editor from the Austin American-Statesman, on the line.
Not yet?
Not yet. Okay. Not yet. Okay. Back to my point then about Austin FC, Denny Pereira, year 1 to year 2. What I said, and I want to get your thoughts on this, Nacho. I said that's part of why you keep someone like Josh Wolf. You have that continuity from year 1 to year 2. And I know that Josh Wolf has been a subject of much controversy on this show and on others.
Yeah.
Are you a pro Wolf guy or a non-pro Wolf guy?
I'm a constructor. I'm a builder. I might not say builder, but I'm more of a going into the process of continuity. So he might not be the best or the most people guy for most of the fans, including me. But
this guy right here,
he is in the process. He is in the process, and now I personally don't have nothing else to say because we're in the second place in the league.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, I don't know what happened with the San Antonio. And I wish this will be the last time we talk about it.
Yeah, we don't need to talk about
they
that.
probably
more
were a
cup
little
set
cocky
discussion.
or
Yeah,
something.
probably
when
a
they
little
were going
overconfident.
there. Yeah, that's probably what happened. Besides the point, San Antonio did a great
Yeah.
game, and we
Kudos to
owned
those
them.
guys.
Very, very well said there, Nacho. So you're a radio production extraordinaire, restaurant business, and a constructor as well. So you just do it all.
A builder.
I'm not a builder for that matter. What I'm saying is I prefer the continuity of keep building.
You'd have had to start all over again if you had made
if we
that
would have
change.
changed, I don't think we would have the outcome that we are. It seemed to me like now they feel like more of a family.
Yeah, we did talk about that because MLS is they're a little bit of a close-knit community. People know each other. So, guys that have been lifers, if you would, for MLS, they know Josh Wolf. Davey Arnaud was assistant. So, but guys like Felipe Martins, Urruti, some of those guys, Finley, they would not have come here if it would have been a first-year coach again, or if it wasn't Wolf. So they know what he is, what he brings to the table. So you got to trust that those new players know what they're doing because they know Josh Wolf and they were able to better communicate the ideas that Josh Wolf has to the rest of the team. And I have not seen one player that was with a roster last year that has regressed. They've all progressed very, very well.
Right,
absolutely. And I think we should be good to go. I'm telling the truth this time.
Yeah.
I think we really do have Thomas Jones, community sports editor from the Austin American-Statesman, on the line and ready to go. Thomas, how are you doing?
Gentlemen, I'm good. How are you guys doing?
We are doing well. Just talking our second place, Austin FC right now.
Can you believe it? Second place.
It's remarkable. It was first briefly on Saturday night. I threw out a tweet with the standings and everything. I was so excited. Got a little ahead of myself. But yeah, second place will do, especially after last season.
And it doesn't seem like a fluke either. I know they're beating up on some, mediocre teams.
Yeah, some are very easily willing to point that out for sure.
Yes.
But really, just the way they're playing is just, man, worlds apart from last summer, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. It most certainly is. Well, yeah, we wanted to have you on because I know last week, I was off last week, but we had David and Jorge got into a lot of the high school soccer discussion, and I know that's something that you really cover in depth with the Austin American-Statesman. And David he's got his fingers on the pulse of that scene. He knows all about it. He's got the jersey Coach A going right there. Absolutely beautiful there.
Our high school coaches, yes, sir.
Yeah, most definitely. So, what can you tell us about what's the latest as far as the local Texas high school soccer scene right now?
Well, I think what you see, Lake Travis won the boys state championship in Class 6A a couple weeks ago, and that's the largest class. That's classification for the biggest schools in the state. And the Austin area had never before had a boys team win a state championship. So what Lake Travis was able to accomplish, it really is monumental. I mean, the Dallas suburbs have dominated soccer for years. But for the local boys to win it, for us, for Austin, it's a great achievement.
Now, do you think that it? I think I know the answer, but you don't think it was a fluke? It was more of a build-up, right? Of different teams kind of challenging each other to get better, and Lake Travis came out on top this time. Do you foresee Central Texas teams being dominant because of that?
I wouldn't say dominant, not like the Dallas level, which sends, like 9 or 10 teams to state every year. But I do think we'll regularly produce at least 3 or 4 teams a year that can contend for a state championship. Dripping Springs also played for a state title. They lost 1-0, but they were in the conversation. Westlake's in the conversation. Vandegrift, there's some really strong teams in the area. Oh, hey, and don't forget Northeast and East Austin. They had a great year. Came within 1 win of the state tournament.
Right, because one of the things that
and Taylor, you can say Taylor is in the area too.
Taylor, boy, yeah, and they are.
Taylor, yeah.
What a well-coached team that is. That's a great team.
So the coach was there too during the finals.
What impact do you think Austin FC, just being here in Austin, what effect do you think that has had on the local high school soccer in our community?
Honestly, I think it's a little too early to tell, but I do think it. This is a soccer town now, and I think kids who have grown up playing soccer, they look around and they get more confirmation that this is a soccer town. They see guys wearing the Austin FC jerseys at games, at the grocery store, everywhere they go. And I think it just gives them a little bounce in the step. And you know what? People appreciate the sport that we do. This is a soccer town, and we're going to represent.
Absolutely. I think that has to be such a big deal. As a kid, you're used to seeing NBA jerseys, NFL jerseys, but to see MLS jerseys, and that's the main jersey that you see here in Austin is the Austin FC jersey that I am wearing right now as a complete homer on this week's show. And so to see that has to, as a young kid, that has to inspire me. We got on that. Everyone's got one. Except for Jorge Chavez, not wearing his.
Edition, all right.
Wow, I've not seen that one before.
I saw it at Costco.
You got it.
That's true. That's true.
I tell you.
But that has to just inspire you as a young kid and motivate you to want to actually take up soccer as a sport. Now, I actually heard, Thomas, before we started recording or before we started airing this show, you and David, you have a friendship going. So why don't you talk a little bit about you and David? Just how do you guys know each other? Just what's going on here? Because it's always interesting to find someone just that knows a lot about David Alvarez, because David he's a character, this guy.
Yeah, and whenever I started hanging out with David, he always paid for the beer. So I was like, hey.
That's what it was.
Oh, it's a very charitable guy, this David. Very, very charitable.
Hey, but really, our kids have known each other since they were like 1 year old.
Oh, wow.
My kid's on the McAllen varsity team. David's kid is a year younger. He'll be on that team next year. So these are a couple boys that have grown up playing soccer, and it's been fun to hang out with him. It's been fun to coach his kids, like in Little League soccer, and it's just fun to see them play and kind of grow and see their love for this game grow too.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you guys have anything else you'd like to discuss in regards to the high school soccer scene?
But the main thing, Thomas, what you think about the forwards for, I think the Lake Travis forward, I think could be easily played for Austin FC.
Oh, yeah, Alex Bethke. I mean, this is, again, you're playing the toughest competition in the state, and I don't have his numbers in front of me, but it's like 39 goals and 18 assists or something. We're talking in 30 matches.
Wow.
I mean, it's unbelievable.
Wow. I've seen the kid.
A bit.
He scored every time I play against him. He scores. So it's like for 3 years I already know that kid. So against us, so he's just a machine.
Do you see? You go to the high school games and you report. Do you see Austin FC representation there in the sense like scouts from the academy or that kind of thing? Do they go around the high schools, local soccer areas to kind of see what's around?
I wish I would see them more. I still think the youth scouting is more centered around the club teams than high school teams.
Okay.
And understandably so. But I'll also say you get teams like Eastside here in Austin, which is great, Northeast, which is great. they don't have a lot of kids playing club soccer because we all know the cost of club soccer.
Right.
So there's a lot of talent that's being overlooked. And if you go to Northeast campus and watch those kids play soccer, you go to East Side, I would love to see a little more scouting done at those schools, especially because those kids need the exposure.
Yeah, I know that's something you've talked about a lot, David.
Yeah, and then, Northeast was the biggest success, I think, this year because they only have 900 students and they're playing in 5A. So they are playing with teams that like Dripping Spring is moving to 6A. So you have to see how impressive, what they've done. Northeast and East Side. I mean, it's a very small school. It really is only 300 students.
Wow.
And they're competing in 5A.
Yeah, you use a boxing analogy, man. Pound for pound, those guys are the best fighters in the state. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's incredible, and the Lake Travis, just what a story.
Yeah, it's a great story.
Absolutely incredible.
But David's team held their own against Lake Travis. You don't believe me? Just ask him.
Oh, he's told us. He's told
he's
us
very
all
proud
about
of that. Yeah, absolutely.
As well he should be.
He's very proud of that defeat, man. 5-0, but
Hey,
that was the
champion.
Austin against T-Rex. 5-0 is not bad. 5-0 is not bad.
I will say, David's teams, they do not park the bus. That's one fact.
That's good. He hates the bus parking.
Yeah, no, he did not park the bus.
Thomas, that makes me so happy to hear. It makes me so happy to hear.
I did not.
Cool. Well, you're welcome to stick on the line with us here, Thomas. We're talking Austin FC right now, and you sound like a guy that knows a lot about Austin FC. So you're welcome to continue on this chat with us here. I wanted to just kind of briefly look ahead to the match against Houston. On Saturday, 12:30, early kickoff. So David, make sure you get to bed early on Friday night because the match is going to be coming very quickly on Saturday. It's an early kickoff. Houston 7th in the Western Conference in MLS, just coming off a 2-1 defeat to FC Dallas. Late comeback from FC Dallas in that match. Goals in the 87th and 90th minute. Houston were leading 1-0 up to that point. Some controversy as well. There was a goal that some thought,
unallowed or something like that.
A goal that looked like it may have crossed the line for Houston, but didn't actually in fact cross the line, or at least allegedly didn't in fact cross the line. Of note, I think Darwin Quintero possibly went off with an injury in this match, was subbed off at halftime. He is their leading scorer. He is their best player, Darwin Quintero. But Houston better than last season, but perhaps a team that's in second place in the Western Conference like Austin FC is, perhaps a team that Austin FC should be expecting to beat. We'll start with you, David. What are your thoughts about this match? Do you think Austin FC can get the win here?
Oh yeah, definitely. There's
no doubt about it.
I mean, the way we were playing against San Antonio, and then the way we play against
bounce back.
The bounce back, because when we were up 1 goal up against San Antonio, and all of a sudden I see the forwards playing with no urgency.
Yeah, they
look tired. I didn't see any urgency after the
tired.
one. I mean, look, they didn't have urgency. Why you don't try to?
I got the feeling that they thought it was enough, that they didn't need to do anymore.
So, but then when we saw what happened, we lost a physical game against a physical team. San Antonio is like that, and they used that to score those goals, and we couldn't handle it because we're smaller. A smaller team. When we had the chance to win, when we had and they beat us on that. So that's kind of team. That's a good lesson to learn with this team. I think it was a good lesson. And obviously, the last game showed that we learned. It was
definitely a humbling experience.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just before we let you go, Thomas, I want to get your thoughts. How do you feel about Austin FC going up against Houston in this game?
Well, what would help is if we could get Cecilio back, and I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon.
Not looking like it.
In preseason, Austin FC beat Houston 4-0. I believe Cecilio had two goals and an assist. Absolutely dominated. So I know Houston's playing well, but I think there's a gap. I think Austin FC will handle Houston.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm leaning as well. Are you concerned at all? I know, Cecilio, that suspension and MLS investigation is ongoing. Are you concerned about the depth on the wing for Austin FC? Is that something that is of concern to you? It's looking a little thin right now. Diego Fagundes had to play practically 300 minutes last week, so I'm a little concerned for his legs. Are you concerned about Austin FC's wing depth or lack thereof as well?
Yeah, boy, we're relying a lot on Fagundes. I mean, I think Fagundes probably played a pickup game after last week's match too.
Yeah, probably.
I mean,
guy's got energy. You got to give him that.
But yeah, and I think when you do lose a player like Dominguez, your depth will be tested. I think Austin is being exposed a bit, but so far they've held up.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, hey, Thomas, we appreciate you joining us. Wonderful talking high school soccer, talking Austin FC with you. Yeah, I appreciate you coming on the show.
All right, guys, have good luck. Thanks, good show. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.
So now let's turn the question down to Nacho. What do you think about the Houston? Because they come off, that was a heartbreaking loss.
Yeah, it really was.
It was a heartbreaking loss, and Austin's got a little bit of momentum. What do you see for Saturday?
I just hope Austin FC learn from their mistakes, especially when now you're talking about San Antonio.
Yeah.
I expect that this game is going to be wild. It's going to be rough.
They always are.
I think there's going to be a minimum 4 yellow cards, maybe 1 or 2 red cards.
Wow.
They play rough against each other.
I feel that Houston now is feeling the rivalry that they both have, and it's going to be the same when they go to Dallas or back and forth.
Yeah.
I'm confident that this time the team will play mentally prepared to do what it takes to win that kind of a game. They have the tools. Now we have the scorers, Ruti, Fagundes. You guys were talking about Fagundes. He's the engine of the team,
Yeah.
And he's the one that drives. He's the one that conducts the orchestra right there.
Yeah.
And on defense, Cascante and what's his
Gabriel's. That is
Gabriel's
very impressive
center-back
partnership.
That's a heck of a partnership.
I still get nervous when they start playing the ball very close.
They do like to play out in the back.
They do like to do that.
Don't do that. But then I remember seeing other, from England or Spain, or they do the same. I'm like, okay.
A lot of the best teams that is
Right.
how they play.
And you don't feel scared when they do that.
But when Austin FC does it, please don't do that.
Do you think it's gotten better this season, though? To my eyes, it has. I think they haven't had the calamitous mistakes that we saw in season 1.
No, they definitely have improved that. Definitely. So I stopped already giving predictions a while ago.
No prediction. Yeah. Okay, Nacho. Now that you say that, we got a little.
But I'm confident. I hope
we got a mascot. I guess you could say here on Futbol. You don't make a prediction. We got the Futbol in Vivo chicken of indecisiveness. Now, I hate to do it to you since you're a guest.
Yeah,
but
you deserve
the chicken of indecisiveness. Usually it goes to David.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
he's gonna set that
usually
right in front of him.
Hey,
you know my heart is
I learned the lesson already. Don't
but you're a smart man not to make predictions. That's a fool's errand. Generally.
Nowadays in soccer, and this is what it makes it so beautiful.
That is true.
The nowadays you don't know.
Yeah,
you just don't know. We're talking about Tigres. Like, it's been the greatest team this season in Mexico, and the last 3 games they've been losing so bad.
Yeah.
So you never know.
And then Tuca Ferretti, which was the leader of Tigres, is in the last place with Juarez. With Juarez, not right?
Yeah, so my other
team I know it's gonna be a great game.
Yeah,
I think so.
For soccer lovers, this is a must-watch game.
You wonder what's going to happen on the stands, because last year we had some very violent encounters outside the pitch. I believe so.
And there were some issues that happened in Dallas and Houston as well.
Okay, I actually want to get all 3 of you guys' thoughts on this.
Yeah.
Austin FC's biggest rival. Who is it? We'll start with you, Nacho.
I don't think it's definite yet. It might be Houston. It might.
They seem a little nastier than the others.
It's starting to.
But I think Portland.
Oh,
really?
The state. Interesting.
Yeah.
Because And especially when I saw Portland going to the finals in MLS, I'm like, we beat those guys
twice.
Beat them bad.
Badly.
Beat them bad. So I think that's like a ongoing, like it's going to build up sooner or later. But yeah, I think not necessarily locally, but I would say Houston.
Houston, what do you think, David?
Well, I'm an old guy,
Is it San Antonio?
What does that have to do with anything?
Both of the enemies, for me are in the Eastern Conference, right? Which is Orlando City, where Austin Aztex.
Okay, you're going
Austin Aztex went there.
Yeah.
And then it's Columbus Crew because of the
That's
ownership.
a good shout. That's a very good shout.
Yeah, so that's what should have been the rivalry, for me. Because, for me, it was so painful when that happened, right? When Orlando.
I mean, it's got to be one of the most, for lack of a better word, traumatic things that happened in the history of MLS.
Oh, yeah.
And so I sort of, I'm a Cowboys fan. Yeah. And so, every year we always play, I know. Every year we always play the Houston Texans. Every year, either in preseason or in postseason.
Right.
I think really MLS should exploit that what happened between Columbus and their ownership and Austin FC, and have them play every year, even if it's a preseason,
right?
Because preseason games don't get that much attention, except if it's this one, it'll get attention,
right?
Oh, yeah.
So I sort of feel kind of the same way, that there's a little bit of animosity, even to this day, when Austin's doing something. Well, now that Austin's doing good,
a lot of haters out there.
There's not that much Columbus feedback.
But honestly, the real enemy, I think I have to say it seriously, is San Antonio. Our rival is San Antonio.
So how bad was it? How bad was it to have lost that game?
It was really bad.
Is that like the low point in Austin FC's history?
I wouldn't say it's the low point.
I'm telling you why it hurt so much. Okay. We all thought they were going to win. We all thought it was going to be an easy game, and again, you can't win a game without playing it before.
So, you can't win it on paper.
That's what happened. Yeah. To me, that's what happened. Maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah.
But anyways, and that's one thing for sure. Next time they play, if they ever play back again,
they're going to play with different attitude.
They are going to definitely going.
But
especially because I think probably for the next round for next year's Open Cup, the game's going to be in Austin. And so, Austin's getting a little bit of that reputation of being a very difficult place to play because of the atmosphere that you really, honestly, you don't see it in very many other MLS venues.
No.
You can count them in one hand.
No.
Atlanta United, probably Portland, Seattle, and LA.
Maybe Kansas.
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 But
and
apart from that, you don't feel that.
Not Washington for sure.
No.
Washington, 20,000.
What are you doing?
Jerry! Come on!
Come on, Jerry.
That one hurt in the heart.
Why, Jerry?
Come on,
man.
I just forgot.
I need water.
Forgotten about it.
I need some water.
Jerry, you're killing us.
This
man.
is the last time I come to this show.
But I actually would welcome Austin FC and San Antonio FC playing each other every year. I would
love to do that.
That was a fantastic match. The crowd was great. It was a ton of fun. Other than the result.
And shout out to the Crocketeers. I mean, they're
wonderful fan base.
The class SG. They gave it to us because we deserve it.
Yeah,
but they're really good. They're a really good group.
And this tradition goes back to the Scorpions and the Austin Aztecs. So it's nothing. It's just that continuity that is like.
Now that we're talking about Houston, I remember one time, and that was the only time they came to town to play against Austin Aztecs at the Reagan High School Stadium.
I think I remember that game.
And it was a lot of Houston fans, a lot of oranges, flags, and all that stuff that I don't think is as big as they used to be.
No, not at all.
Right now.
No.
Do you think it's because they haven't been in form lately? This year they've turned it around, but
Yeah,
they've
they
always.
look better this season.
I don't know what it is.
They haven't played well for several years now. So
But
think that has
also
something to do with
it
it?
has to do with the changes. Used to play in the UH stadium, Houston.
Oh yeah,
in the old days, and the fan base was actually bigger. It was much bigger. It's actually
The
also
fan base was big.
Futbol en Vivo started. Actually, one of the hosts of Futbol en Vivo was a Houston fan.
Oh.
And he always
Oh,
wear.
wow.
didn't know
Yeah. So he was wearing every show he would wear the Houston. So now it's all the way back after I don't know, 10, 12 years or something like that.
You tell me
12,
if I'm wrong, but I feel the Austin community, we have a more local heart for everything. You know,
so the
we love
city
our
that
soccer
loves its
street.
Yeah, definitely loves itself.
That I love you
Sure.
sign.
Right, yeah.
Back with the Austin, keep Austin weird. We love our stuff, and we love it from the heart.
Right.
So I doubt that we are gonna be ending up kind of like that. And why I'm saying that, because we're not such a big city yet, like those Houston or Dallas.
Right.
So they kind of get lost, is my opinion, among other teams.
Yeah, the
that
sports.
they
Sure,
have,
yeah,
other
very true.
sports.
Yeah.
So-
There's a shot at Danny Pereira, by the way.
and it's like, it's just another team in the city.
Yeah.
Here
And
in
also the
Austin-
convenience too.
Right.
And for Dallas, Dallas being so far away, like almost
Frisco
45
FC.
minutes.
Yes, we love to call them Frisco.
45
but-
minutes away with
But
a
even
different-
they, some of them privately complain, some of the
Different
supporters,
culture over there.
that it's just so far, and really, there's nothing really.
There was more
around.
people going to the city Dallas burn.
Yeah.
At the
That's a
at
throwback.
the
Yeah, that
Cotton
was
Bowl.
way
At the
back in
Cotton
the
Bowl. Come on, guys, I'm old.
Yeah.
But Dallas, when it was downtown, they bring a lot of people. Cotton Bowl.
It was just more convenient.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
so
Yeah,
I
and
think
downtown
Frisco-
stadiums are so important in
But
MLS.
but
So,
but
so
Dallas,
important.
but Houston have a downtown stadium, and they
they're-
haven't done a very good job.
Houston
Yeah,
is such a sprawl as a city, though. So it's
But there's
not-
no excuse. There's
Everything's
no,
far
there's
away
no
from
excuse
everything
for that.
else.
I mean, there's no
That's true.
excuse for that one because everybody can get downtown but from far
Well,
away.
was it
30 minutes.
BBVA right next to the where the Astros play?
Yeah.
Yeah, is it right? Is it
Right next to it.
next to
Yeah,
it.
yeah, right next to
And
it.
I don't think the Astros are.
No, the Astros are
Are
filling
not-
it up,
not-
filling it up. So I don't know what's
but
going on.
I-
Really, it's something. But the good thing that Austin is a trendsetter, right? We talk about trendsetter, right? And Austin, it is a trendsetter in that way.
Yeah.
And I was going to talk about a little bit about so many people that they're still not following Austin FC, even though they were followers of the Austin Aztecs, old versions.
Really?
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
there are
so we have-
Aztecs fans that do not.
No,
follow
even
Austin FC?
before the Aztecs, even I'm talking about the previous, all the different instances that we have. So some of these people are still not.
Are still-
Why
Still
have-
so upset about all the situation that happened,
Well,
and they
we-
were sick and tired of it,
Yeah.
So they just move on, just club soccer, right? Doing their own club soccer.
Interesting.
But the other thing is to attract like this Argentinian community, the Uruguayan community, right?
I love that.
They're
I
not
love
even
that.
they're not even watching it. They're not. The Argentinian. Oh yeah, Lucy. Oh yeah, he playing River, but they don't care.
Do you think
it's
they
not-
just look down on MLS
yeah,
as far as
yeah,
terms
yeah,
of
yeah.
quality?
I
They
think
definitely
some-
do.
yeah.
They definitely
Hey,
do. And
I've
it's like,
seen
come
some of the
on.
Argentinian league. and
It-
it's-
no,
It's
no.
the same feeling with a lot of Mexican
Nice.
community too.
Yeah, I was going to ask about
Because
that.
the football Mexicano is like their thing, you
Yeah.
know.
'Cause
And I
I
experienced that face reality when Tigres, which is the team I love, came to play with Austin. So
yeah.
I had my hat, I had my Tigres, but I had the Austin FC hat, and I was kind of mixed. I kind of felt weird.
Yeah.
So I remember that I got stopped because I wanted to cross to the back with the supporters. They have more variety of food. So I was with the family. I'm like, hey, maybe we find some tacos. You can come here, sir, because you have the Tigres here. I'm like, dude, but I'm here. I'm okay. That's when I decided, like, you know what? I'm sorry. This is the cathedral. This is the religion right now.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna wear nothing but verde black, every time I come to this place. So I stop, and I still love Tigres, and I follow them and all that.
Yeah.
But this is, again, like I was telling you at the beginning of the conversation, this is a dream come true.
Yeah.
Having
In your hometown. I mean,
Right,
you
yeah.
know.
And then when your old team is verde too, why not?
there you go.
Oh, yeah.
At least Austin FC, hey, they can't be relegated. You
Right, no,
cannot
they
be
cannot be
relegated
relegated.
from
Not to
MLS.
third division.
No.
Not even to third division.
Now, quick question about Houston. They just signed Hector Herrera. Do you think that's going to contribute to more people going to the games, or is it just is it just like a marketing fluke that they want to sell more shirts?
It's kind of both things, more on the marketing, but I hope for the best that Hector bring more team. How do I say it?
Cohesiveness, or-
like make them more feel like a real team.
More like a team.
Bringing experience, kind of coaching them as well, helping the
Right.
coach to help the team players to do what it has to be done on the soccer pitch.
Right.
Because he's coming at the highest level. Like
Right.
it's
Yeah,
a player that
So I don't think he's gonna keep his mouth shut once
No,
his
he's a very
system's
vocal
wrong.
guy. Yeah.
Huh?
So
No, but he almost did not sign. He was like.
It was-
there
we should
there was
watch it
talk
for that.
today.
Yeah.
There was talk today about he
but it's a done
having.
deal, right?
It's already done deal. Yeah.
Okay.
Do you
Some
think
sort of
that maybe
regrets.
they could bang on some trash cans?
Oh,
They want some
wow.
of the Astros fans to
gonna-
show up. Do you think that?
We're gonna.
You
Wow.
think that could
all
help?
right. Yeah.
Okay, I think we've talked a ton. Oh, here we go.
Yeah.
Jerry. He knows when I'm about to transition. Loves to throw it up
Yeah.
right there.
Would you would believe if somebody would tell you that Austin would be in the first places competing with the LAFC last season? If they would be on top
I
of
wouldn't
them.
have believed it. I wouldn't have.
I wanted to happen. I
Yeah.
thought we could
Yeah.
happen.
As a homer,
we
yeah,
have
but-
very similar players. Really, not that many. Except
Honestly-
Did you expect this though, David? Second place after eight matches?
Well, after 6 matches, I already told you that I expected it, right?
Yeah, you
after
did.
6
You did.
matches.
Yeah.
So 6 matches did it for me, and I say what I have to say. So this is.
So now
this
it
is
doesn't-
I
now
mean,
it
that's
doesn't
fine.
surprise you.
It's fine. And what I'm saying, I criticize the coach for what happened in San Antonio, but other than that,
Yeah, if we had done
coming
this
back-
show on a Thursday, it would have been a much more somber.
Yeah, it would have
much
been.
more angry
Yeah,
show.
I'm crap. But other than that, he's done a
But-
great job. Like the substitutes have been, always on point, pretty much. So that's what we wanted him to do last year. And so, right now, we need to keep supporting him.
I agree 100%. Well, Nacho, we're going to talk a little Real Betis right now. You're welcome.
ahead.
You're
Yes.
welcome to stick around.
The
I don't know
Real
how much
Bet-
Real Betis
Yeah.
you follow, but we got a little segment called the Real Bet.
it's-
There it is.
There you
Real
go.
Betis update.
And that's where Andres Guardado plays. And
Andres
it's other
Guardado.
guy.
Lainez, yeah, he's down
Lainez.
there.
Lainez,
Wow.
yeah, uh-huh.
And
It's about time
bravo.
they win something.
Hey, yeah,
Hey,
only the fourth
Joaquin.
trophy. Only the fourth trophy in their history. This
Right.
Copa Del Rey win over Valencia.
And the last Copa del Rey Joaquin played when he was a teenager.
Yes. And what is so cool? So there's actually a picture of him at his wedding after winning that trophy in 2005. Him and his bride are next to the Copa del Rey trophy. And now here he is, 40 years old, and he's staying.
And
he's
he's-
coming back
and
next season.
And he's coming back. He just
he's
signed the
coming
contract
back.
one more year, and Pellegrini is really happy about it.
He is
Because-
the only player in Betis history to have two trophies. Is Joaquin. That's incredible.
What a story, right?
But-
And
incredible
that's not for a reason that he cried after that game.
Oh yeah, it was
With
a
the shootout.
It was a
and
very emotional game. I mean, it's a very very good game. I mean,
Sevilla, has enough for it's probably more than 2 teams, right? Because with
Yeah,
that
Passion.
fan base,
Yeah, it is.
it's amazing. And players from all over the world, and with the lower, they have. Also, it shows how important the La Liga is nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have 2 of the teams playing the Champions League final, and you have the team winning the Copa del Rey, and all of those teams getting close to the champion next year too as well. They're fighting, so show how important La Liga is today, along with the competitiveness of. That's what Pellegrini was saying. It's like, well, the Premier League, it is the Premier League, but look at the Spanish league.
I have to say, though, Real Madrid, I wasn't on the show last week. They were awful against Chelsea. They were absolutely terrible in that second leg. They had no business winning that.
But what
And
you have
they
to
still-
say,
and they still won.
what Pellegrini was, but no. What Guardiola is saying is that you're playing against history. It's like he and of course everybody when they play against some team that won the champion 13 times and have been
many
times in that stage. It's hard to beat history.
So.
To beat history, you need to make history. And that's what, what
well,
needs to do.
I mean, to be fair, Real Madrid have not played well and won the Champions League before. This is kind of their thing. So, yeah, I guess history, and that gets into the opposition's head, and I guess
heavy.
that
it's
plays.
heavy, Like it happened to Chile when we won Copa America for the first time in 2015. We never did it. For so many 100 years, we played the Copa America, and we never won. Every time we played the final, Argentina would beat us, or Uruguay, or Brazil. But that time, Argentina with Messi, and the next year, the Centenario, we beat the history. So then we are in a different era, right? You reach several level. Hey, when you make those wins, you can make more in the future.
So speaking of Chile, David, I want to talk. There's a strong Chilean feel to this Betis team.
Of course.
You got the manager, Manuel Pellegrini, Chilean, and then Claudio Bravo, goalkeeper, Chilean as well. And there was actually a little Chile versus USA, kind of the crucial moment in that shootout. Yunus Musa firing it over the crossbar. I will remind you before you get too confident, David, only one of those two will be at the 2022 World Cup.
It would be the youngest. I mean, I don't know if you would prefer to lose that penalty.
At the moment, sure.
But I would not blame it on Musa because he should have not taken it. Just like what happened with England.
Very, very young.
Don't have the young kids take the penalty kicks at that moment.
Yeah,
don't do that.
Yeah.
Because you need the experience to do that. Same thing happened with England. Remember?
Yes. That is
exactly the same.
That's true.
And at the last moment, you put those players. So here, what we need to do.
You probably, I guess, have someone older than Musa take the penalty.
No, but anyways, the main idea was the question is, I think it's very important for Chile because after the debacle, the defeat, I mean, it's shameful that Chile could not make it to the World Cup. I mean, for 2 years, second straight time in 2 years, with such an amount of players, even the bad players are okay. Like Montesinos, and now in America, Diego, the America striker now has scored 5 goals in 6 games. Valdez, we have the players, and then we are 9 in the World Cup. But anyways, what's happy about it is that 2 of the leaders, one is Bravo, the captain of the team, and then Pellegrini, he said that he wants to coach the national team after he finished the contract with Real Betis.
So I want to ask you about Pellegrini, David. I was just kind of looking over his Wikipedia page, so correct me if any of these are incorrect.
Yeah.
I think really he's one of the most underrated coaches of this era. Just looking over his credentials here, he won the Argentinian League twice with San Lorenzo and with River Plate, so 2 different teams, won it twice.
He won it 3 times with River. Twice with River, one with San Lorenzo.
Always a dodgy.
And with Ecuador too. It won in Ecuador too.
Okay, but yeah.
That was first one. But first he won Universidad de Chile. And he went to Universidad de Chile to 2nd division.
Why did I even go to Wikipedia? I should just text you.
There
you go. Guys, of course, had the Premier League.
Well, he played for Universidad de Chile,
Yes, indeed. Won the Premier League with Manchester City. That's obviously an incredible achievement. The one I really liked, he took Malaga to the quarterfinals of the Champions League. And I don't know if you recall that, but they actually I remember it pretty vividly. They got screwed in that quarterfinal match against Klopp. Jurgen Klopp, crybaby Klopp, as our friend Arush would call him. Yeah. They had some very favorable calls go in Dortmund's favor to knock Malaga out.
I mean, it was crazy.
Otherwise, he would have been in a semifinal with Malaga.
And Bravo was there, too. Bravo was the goalie.
He was the goalie for Malaga?
That was the goalie at that time. So before he moved to Barca. And even before that, with Villarreal made it to the semifinals until the penalty kick by our friend from Argentina, the famous number 10 for Boca. Anyways, he missed. But anyway, he already made it with Villarreal.
I know him. Yeah. Riquelme. The number 10. The Argentinian number 10.
Yeah, Riquelme. So he has been in this stage many times, a couple of times. He said the only regret he really has is West Ham. West Ham things did not work well over there. He worked in China too.
Yeah,
before that.
I actually think his West Ham teams were a little underrated. Like, they were bad defensively, but they did some good things going forward in attack. But he never could quite.
But he got a lot of players too beforehand that he pretty much didn't work out very well.
I guess the timing was.
And he was there around the time of that stadium move where the fans weren't happy.
And Nobles was trying to get him out. Nobles did not have a relationship.
You're not a Mark Noble fan, are you, Don?
No, because he was talking shit about Pellegrini in the radio. I was like,
that's not a good.
I was
look.
like,
not nice.
What do you do? A player never do that.
So the reason we got onto all this because like you mentioned that there's a possibility that they're going to be ahead in the Chile coaching area. When do you anticipate that happening, and what changes do you anticipate happening from them?
Jesus, man, I think a lot of things needs to happen. I mean, they need to get rid of many of the. I mean, there's only one team that's really successful right now, and Chile. The Chilean team need to do better in Copa Libertadores, and that's one of the big things. And actually, they are doing right better. Colo-Colo is doing better. Universidad Católica is doing better. And that's what good signals, right? But then also the leadership, we need to have a really good leadership and bring a good coach.
What happened from that point that were there in the top, and they were a great team.
Well, it's
unbeatable.
It was the leader.
What exactly happened? When it comes the fade on?
Well, it came after when actually the second Copa America in 2016. I mean, the coach did not win that Copa America. It was the players that won the Copa America 2016. And then he played then for Saudi Arabia. Coach Saudi Arabia was last place in the World Cup. He was a Leon coach too. But then that shows all the coaches that got after that, they didn't have what it takes. Rueda, awful. I mean, he took two teams out of the World Cup. Colombia and Chile.
Sending him over to Colombia.
And then you have this other coach that Uruguay coach that's not really at the level. You need to have a coach like Sampaoli, which has Sampaoli, where has now Marseille.
He's doing great at
Marseille. Olympique Marseille, second place, ready to go to the
place.
Champions League. So that type of coach, that was a transition. We needed it with Bielsa. Bielsa left the national team because of the administration change.
Right.
That's exactly what I'm not going to deal with these guys. They got Sampaoli, we got lucky, but after that,
there's
nothing.
Mediocre coaches.
Nothing. So we never had the leadership. McNichols was the president at that time of the national, and it's an election. It's a big election in Chile, But like every election in Chile is big, but that one is a big one, and that's what we need to have before anything really can happen, because. Yeah, we need to have it better. I mean, he needs to.
But do you think that
Pellegrini will be ready? When that's
he's got to be the choice, right?
Yeah,
if he's willing to go, he has to be.
That's his dream. I mean, he's a Chilean player. He acknowledged that he loved to have players with a high quality that he did not have as a player. Right. As a player, he was not. But he got his degree as an engineer in 1978, right?
And but do you anticipate because?
While playing for Universidad de Chile.
Because obviously one of the
multi-talented like Nacho.
Yeah, there you go.
What I told you a while ago, but I'm a builder or I'm not into that. What I meant.
Because I had a few projects I was asking about.
Ayúdame a traducirlo. Yo soy más constructivo, soy más de construir, no soy de destruir. That's what I meant.
Right.
Anyways.
Yeah. But anyways. Quote. So as far as the Chile,
you don't want to be misunderstood.
Right? So you think Pellegrini will get along with the leadership of Chilean Federation right now, or do you think that the Federation, in order to put their ego aside to hire Pellegrini, which scenario do you see? Because Pellegrini is going to be a coach. It's just depending on is he going how much liberty is he going to be given,
and how much time we have, But he says he's going to respect his contract with Betis because the idea was for him it's 2 more years, and then the idea is for him to go to the Champions League, which right now they are fighting in the Champions League. So has to do with his contract and the situation. In the meantime, I think the situation will solve. Hopefully,
right.
So we can have. I mean,
because there's a little bit of a parallel with what happened when the U.S. missed the World Cup. They had like a year where they had Coach Severin, if I'm not mistaken his name, and he knew he was not going to be the long-term solution, but he gave a lot of the young guys chances.
Yeah,
he played a lot of players to sort of give a resume to the next coach of what the pool has. Do you think Pellegrini is going to do, Chile actually is going to do something similar, is take the first year after the World Cup, play exhibitions, friendlies with a lot of younger players to see what Chile has so that Pellegrini can sort of take notes and see
But I think that's true. But he's really into the Chile. He goes to Chile all the time.
He probably already knows.
He already knows what's going on.
Knows what's going on.
And Montesino was talking about this week. Montesino's play with a totally new team here at Q2 Stadium. We saw the Chile.
He was really good.
He's a bull.
Yeah,
he's a machine. He's a great player.
And he was talking about that the real problem is it's a lower division in Chile. The kids, and when they go into national team right now, they're not get fed correctly. The kids are not being treated. There's not a program. And so he was saying
I need some of your breakfast tacos.
The kids are not growing what they're supposed to grow, right? They're eating a lot of sugar. They're not respecting the diet, right? Which Bielsa put it from the beginning, right?
He's going to pay attention to
we're talking about it,
sure.
but he not only built that mentality, but he built entire infrastructure. Like he built a stadium where the Chile practice. So everything was organized since Bielsa, and now things are kind of crumbled.
He did
down.
the same thing at Leeds.
He did the same thing at Leeds, right?
That's true.
Yeah.
So it created a school, and now the mentality of Chile, it really changed the mentality of Chilean soccer. Before we just played to park the bus and get a result outside.
Right.
But when Bielsa came in, we started trying to win every game everywhere. It didn't matter
And
where.
they did. I mean,
and never play defensive. Never park the bus. That's what I do. And that's what I like to do. But because you lose, if you're gonna lose 5-0, you're gonna lose dying. You're gonna about to score. They're gonna buy one goal. We're gonna be close to one goal.
Because that's what I remember about the teams that won Copa America and all that. They were all about the same type of player, offense or defense or midfield. Same height, same speed. So you really didn't know if you were playing a defender, a midfielder, or a forward.
And they all could score.
All of them could play the same position.
And you can see that the control.
That was very innovative.
You see the control of the ball control. Usually you would see with the chest ball control. They really mastered those type of ball controls.
Those were great.
And those passes, they were like Sampaoli, did a great job. I think in that
very similar to Bielsa, similar style.
Very similar style. And
that team had a great chemistry.
Yeah,
they had chemistry. Yeah. When I saw them playing and beat the shit out of Mexico, I'm like,
with the best players, they're still
I mean, that's what I was alluding to. Is that the Mexican players?
You talk about the 7. Somehow this gets brought up every single time. 7-0
game. That's
the only game that I did not watch. Oh my god! I did not watch the game. I watched it in wedding.
We need to get like a little picture hung up of the scoreline
of each goal. Scored.
That's a game pending. Like we have a game pending with us with San Antonio. That's like the Mexican pending game.
Yeah, that's the Mexican. Yeah,
and I hope one day we might be able to beat the
exact a little bit of revenge.
Absolutely. I think if I'm not mistaken, I think we should be nearing the end of our time here on the show. Jerry, how much time do we have left? Do we have time to do Champions League? We have no time to do Champions League predictions.
Champion.
And he tricked us.
I'm gonna change real quick. Be right back.
No, he doesn't do predictions. He doesn't do predictions. Real quick, I think we're just about out of time. Just give me David, Man City or Real Madrid?
Man City, obviously.
Okay,
Man City all the way. Man City is gonna make history.
So
it's gonna make history and defeat history.
Oh, by defeating history. So they're not going to be afraid by the history and the ghosts.
It's 11 against 11.
Gotcha.
And that's it.
Okay.
And that's what Guardiola said.
I agree 100%. Jorge, what do you think?
I think Man City's going to win.
And then Liverpool via Real.
Ooh. Umay?
Who do you think, David?
Oh, definitely. That's going to be a very tough game. I think it's going to be a tie.
Well, a winner has to emerge.
No,
it's the first leg.
No, it's the first one.
Oh, okay, you're talking. We're just predicting the first. I meant the
whole thing.
Well, we said it last time. We predicted it last time.
We predicted it.
Yeah. So, but it's okay. We predicted it again. I said Liverpool.
You said Liverpool. Okay. Yeah. And then you.
Well, if that's the final going with, Liverpool. I'm going with Real Madrid.
Because to win it all.
They're so comfortably ahead in Liga in the La Liga that they're going to concentrate more on Champions League and they're gonna pull it off.
Okay, so as far as you like City for the whole tie,
City,
and you like Real Madrid for the whole tie. Yeah. I still like City, and you, David, Liverpool, Villarreal as far as the whole tie?
I think it's going to be Liverpool at the end.
Liverpool.
I mean, even though Villarreal would be the
I go
the
for
story
Liverpool
of
and I go for Manchester City.
Oh,
no,
you're on the
no, you are.
Nacho. Okay, you don't have to have the chicken anymore.
Switch
You don't have to have the
jerseys
chicken.
and suddenly he's all.
There's no chicken.
And the
Right.
chicken
Right.
disappeared. Where's the
Pop that
chicken?
out
It
real
went
quick.
away.
I loved it. Absolutely loved it.
Yeah.
wow.
There's
I
a chicken.
hope you're, well, I don't know. I was going to say I hope you're right because a Liverpool-Real Madrid final, that's a rematch of a couple of years ago.
Yeah,
There's some bad blood there,
Yeah.
which would be interesting. But, man, I don't know. Another Liverpool-Manchester City match.
Yeah,
I just love when
that's
those two
gonna
teams
be-
play.
yeah.
I really do. It is the quality of football is just so high.
It's just beautiful.
It really is. I don't think you can go wrong either way. Okay, we are out of time on this week's show. Thanks to both of our guests, but definitely thanks to you, Nacho.
Thank you for inviting me. Thank you.
Talking
It's
soccer with you. This
such
was
a pleasure.
Yeah,
Thank
this was a ton of fun. We will do this again next week. Thanks, everyone.
Yeah.
Adios.
Gracias.